Hello and welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast, a Colts podcast with real takes and no clickbait. I'm Josh Hudgens, joined by Dan Hertzler. Dan, what's up?
Not too much. Not too much. Colts started their mini camps today, and we got some news that's kind of floating around there. It doesn't look too promising for the quarterbacks. Josh, what's some of the stuff that you're hearing here?
Yeah, obviously, mini camp is underway for the Colts, which is a practice session before training camp, where media can watch what's going on. So we're getting real information now, and kind of the big news of the day today was that the Colts quarterbacks weren't very good. In fact, just to read some stats off here, Anthony Richardson was 3 of 8 and 11 of 11s, and Gardner Minshew was 0 for 4. Um, Not very good. Now we're gonna react to this. We're gonna give we give one word reactions to Colts news all the time. So Dan, what's your one word reaction?
Well, I'm going to say the word valley because this journey we're going to be going on with Anthony Richardson is going to be a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys, and this is just a valley kind of day. This is going to happen. Does it concerning that it seems to be a theme a little bit? No, not concerning, but at least something to kind of keep an eye on. But it's a valley. It's going to happen. He's a young quarterback. It's a new system. Hey, Gardner Minshew, he's a quarterback that's somewhat established in the NFL. He didn't look any better. I'm not too concerned about this. This is just a valley and what's going to be an up and down kind of mountain peak valley kind of season for Anthony Richardson. We just need to realize this is the middle of June and just kind of chill. Josh, what's your one word?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm an optimist at heart, so I'm not going to sit here and read this stuff and think that Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson's a bust. Uh, hey, look, rookie is my word. I'm not really going to comment on Gardner Minshew. I would expect a little bit more of him, but he's on a new team as well, and he kind of knows the offense, but it's still the new team, and there's learning stuff there. But for Richardson, look, it's there's going to be highs and lows in this journey, like you said.
Yep.
And I mean, I can think back to Andrew Luck and his early offseason as a
Yeah.
rookie. He had some rookie bonehead moments. His first game with the Colts was ugly. They played the
Yep.
Chicago Bears, and he just looked terrible. And then he quickly caught on. So obviously,
Yeah.
we're not thinking Richardson's maybe going to be that level of prospect, but stuff like that is just going to happen no matter who the prospect is or how great the prospect is. Uh,
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah, let me throw one thing though back to you in this all, and again, I'll show my age here. I'll even go back to John Elway lining up under the wrong center, and so I mean, it's just some of the basic stuff. But is there anything in what you heard today that gives you any like kind of reading through the lines, any kind of optimism, any kind of extra stuff that not just looking at stats and numbers, but anything that encourages you by today?
yeah, a little bit. Obviously, when you look at training camp stuff, or in this case, mini camp, the whole stats stuff, I throw out the window. I mean, Matt Ryan,
Yep.
I've mentioned this before. He was great in the
Yeah.
Colts training camp, Colts offseason program. Very accurate, ball on time, and compared to a Navy SEAL, surgical precision, NASA, general, all this
Yep.
stuff, none of that mattered. So for me, what with especially with Anthony Richardson, what you hope to hear is incremental progress, and what's he doing next to improve? What is this guy doing?
Yep.
Is he in this break period? Is this guy gonna take a breather away before the long rookie season, or is he gonna get back to work? And one thing for me, I heard was, hey, he's gonna get to work this summer, and between now and training camp, they're gonna go to Florida, and he's gonna work out with Gardner Minshew and some other receivers. It's stuff like that where
Yeah.
okay, yeah, he's supposed to do that, but yeah, he's doing that. He's not going Jamarcus Russell mode. He's doing the
Yeah.
things he's supposed to get better. He's we haven't heard any completely awful things about him
Yeah.
when it comes to accuracy. What about you?
Yeah, to me, one of the things I think again, you gotta look a little bit between different comments and different things. I think one of the things that I picked up that is encouraging is that he's getting the same amount of reps with the first team as Gardner Minshew. Now, Minshew's the one, quote unquote, the starter. He's
Yeah,
getting the first reps, but
he's getting a lot of
Anthony
reps.
Richardson is getting just as many reps with them. And Gardner Minshew isn't really separating himself to say, hey, I should be the one that should be starting because I'm this much further than the rookie. So whether or not he's performing well, hey, it's a new system, it's a new verbiage, it's a new scheme, it's a new coach. Maybe this is a good sign for our young secondary. Maybe our young secondary is playing pretty well, and they're doing some things. We don't have all our top receivers out there. So there's some other stuff going on here. But the fact is that Anthony Richardson is getting the same amount of reps, and they trust him with the first team even right now. I think is really setting us up. Like, we might be in a valley just because he's not hitting some of the throws, but I think this is setting ourselves up that he's going to be day one starter. And that's the way I think we're trending. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I think to your point, if Gardner Minshew was lighting it up, I don't know if we would be in OTAs, if we'd be surprised, but it would be obvious to us that, okay, there's a gap between these guys. There's a gap, and Richardson might not start early on, but the more that Minshew struggles and maybe looks like Gardner Minshew, the more we're the closer this race is gonna be, and the more likely we are to see Anthony Richardson early on. One interesting thing, his personality is kind of infectious. I think, I think he's joking around, comes into the media room, and he's like, "Hey, I'm just here so I won't get fined," kind of joking around. Media seems to like him. He seems to have a good attitude on the field. Just kind of a little loose, which is encouraging. We're not here to panic on our show. I know, and we've talked about this. I think a few weeks ago when he was being compared to like the next big thing, and he's making next level things and all this. And it's like, hey, on this wave of roller coasters, we're not going to get too high. We're going to get too low, and we're not going to get too low. So if you're a Colts fan who appreciates realistic takes and not just some dramatic fan podcast, like, we could be dramatic and get as much clicks as possible. That's not us. We're going to shoot you straight. And hey, the truth is somewhere in the middle, and Anthony Richardson is just being a rookie.
All right. Tell me the odds. What are the odds? 1 out of 10. Give me a number. The likelihood Anthony Richardson starts week 1.
I'm going to go with 6.5. 6.5.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm a little higher. I'm thinking 7.5 because I just don't see, when the Colts look at the two quarterbacks they got, there's not going to be that much of a separation, and the upside for Anthony Richardson to get him out there early, what he can do with his legs. We're talking about passing right now. Hey, we got to admit, one of the great things about Anthony Richardson is what he's going to bring with to be able to run and some of the other options he can do with that. And we've seen that all around the league. Lamar Jackson, Hunt, Jalen Hurts, all these different quarterbacks out there. So I think it's trending in that direction, and I'm going to go 7.5. I'd love to hear what the comments have to say, though. If they think some of this, OTAs, mini camps, is this helping Richardson? Is this hurting Richardson? Is he going to be the day one starter? I think it's trending in that direction.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. And again, the Colts had a chance to maybe bring in a Jimmy Garoppolo type or somebody of that caliber where, okay, is the guy going to lead you to the Super Bowl? Probably not. So I'm glad they didn't waste the money on him. But that would have made it that much harder for, Richardson to get on the field because he has to compete with someone a little bit better than a Gardner Minshew. So, well, guys, let us know what you think. Obviously, your comments mean a lot to us. So if you could do that, that'd be great. Subscribe to our channel. And hey, stay tuned for more Colts content. Thanks again for watching, and you guys have a great day.